So the last layers have dried, and since this is a painting of layers, I am going to add another layer of white. This is just a titanium white and a flat brush that I have. I'm applying directly to the canvas in just a couple of areas that I feel I need a little more light. My brush has some water on it, so I'm working with a fairly thin layer of white here. This is just sort of add a little illumination underneath some of the depth that we're adding in a couple of areas. Since there's no glaze on this and it's working a fairly thin layer, this will dry quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, and then I will come back and add a little more depth with some darkness on here. So that last layer of white has pretty much dried. And on my flat brush, I'm just going to bring out my palette of blues that I mixed in my last session working with these colors. I have a little bit on a wet flat brush here. Again, that was a phthalo blue, or I mean a turquoise blue, a glaze, and a Prussian blue. That's what we're working with. And I want to add a little depth with an overlayer, a very thin overlayer in some of these areas where the blue has dried. I'm going to work over that last dried layer, and I'm working with some black alcohol ink. I'm going to apply it in just a few strategic areas. On my painting, very lightly, working in sections, and laying my brush flat over what I've just applied, just adding sort of a swatch of the ink. You can lay down your black on a palette and pick it up, or you can do it in this way. For this next area, I'm adding a little of the black ink, as you can see right here, right in with my blue on the side. I'm going to do a mix. So I grab a little blue and black together, just on one side of my brush. I'm laying it flat to pick up that paint only on one side, and laying it flat up here, creating a little bit of depth. Sort of just scrumming my brush there. Don't want a lot of black on this painting, but I do want a couple areas of depth. Pick some more up right here. Kind of leads to a visual interest area. If you don't like what you did, if you work quickly, you can wipe it off. Ink does dry quickly and fairly permanently, so if you're not, you know, in love with it, you can just sort of work it through. But I pretty much like what I've got here, so I'm gonna let that dry. Come back and add